Brett, thanks for joining me.
Great to be here.
Yeah, so tell me a bit about yourself and what you do, and of course, these folks are tuning in to hear all about it.
So I'm a bit of an outlier at this conference. I actually come out of broadcast radio.
Okay.
In fact, I'm most associated with the classic rock format, so if you're a little tired of hearing Led Zeppelin on the radio, I have to take a certain amount of responsibility for that. But yeah, we're helping to sort of move the radio industry into new spaces like podcasting, voice, and the car is such a critical element, right? I mean, the lion's share of radio listening takes place while people are on four wheels, and yet all of a sudden now content is coming from a whole lot of different angles. So that's a big part of what we were talking about here earlier in the panel.
Okay, and so you were doing the panel with two other people, with David and Rachel.
Right.
And so how did that panel go, and how was the audience, and how do you feel so far about this event, Voice of the Car Summit?
Well, I'm really excited to be here. I'm supposed to be at the National Association of Broadcasters show in Las Vegas right now. Exactly, and
I could be there too.
I opted to come here figuring I would actually learn more. So sorry, NAB folks who might be watching this, but this is a great conference, and I just love the fact that we've got people coming in from all kinds of different areas and different platforms and different disciplines, all talking about the potential of voice, content access. So this is great. I enjoyed the session. We had some great questions.
Great.
So yeah, now I'm here to learn.
Great. Well, so tell me a bit about where you see the industry as it is today. Radio, voice technology, integration with things like the car, State of the Union in your mind.
Well, so let me give you an example. A lot of the speakers are talking about commuting time as an opportunity, and it's like, we've known this in radio for 100 years. Right. Traffic is our friend, right? I mean, we love heavy traffic areas.
Forgive him for saying that, everybody.
Sorry, but it's true. And in markets like DC, Los Angeles, yeah, not my fault. I didn't create the traffic, but the traffic is there, and that's what keeps people really confined to listening to radio or other content in their car. One of the really interesting inflection points about what's going on right now with voice is that in radio, we've been conditioned to teach the audience to preset the radio station on one of your buttons, right? I mean, once you become a preset, you are almost guaranteed a certain level of successful. Now, the presets are going to be going away because the preset's coming right out of your mouth, right? So this whole idea of voice commands now being the gateway to content is something that radio operators are having to completely reorient themselves to. So voice is really a great opportunity, obviously, but a challenge too.
And so what do you project in the future? Project out 5 years, 55 years, whatever you want, but what do you project? I mean, even if you're not pushing the industry forward yourself, it's those that you've mentored and kind of trained, or it's just these young people that are here, right? All these young people that are here in the broadcast studio that are telling the world on LinkedIn and Instagram and all these different platforms of what we're doing. What do you project in the future as a broadcast leader? Where is voice first tech going?
So ultimately, and I mean, this is going to sound cliche, but it's really true, content is going to win out here. I mean, as long as radio or any other content creator makes their content easily accessible with a good user experience, they're going to be fine. I think the hard part from the radio standpoint is that we own the dash. I mean, okay, we shared it with an 8-track player and a cassette player and a CD and a DVD player, but we pretty much owned it all, and now it's like there's a hole in the fence and everybody can come in. And so I think it really causes radio broadcasters to rethink everything. I mean, what is it about your content, your personalities, your local orientation that really resonates with people? Make sure they can find you with their voice, but ultimately it is a content play.
Yeah. You mentioned early on in our conversation that you came here to learn.
Yep.
Of course you came to speak, so thank you for doing that, but you came here to learn.
Oh, yeah.
As you think about Bradley Metrock and I successfully building out Voice First TV, a place where you can learn visually, right? A place where it's a live stream 24/7, but there's also archived content for you to pick and choose the things that you really want. What type of things would you hope that we develop out in this ecosystem?
Well, I think the more that it solves problems, and does it in small little bite-sized chunks. I think the one thing that we all do every time we fire up YouTube or a similar service is we look in the bottom right-hand corner and go, ooh, it's 11 minutes. Do I really want to invest that time? So yeah, making sure that everything is in real easy to consume chunks is there, and then it's clear and focused. I think sometimes what has happened, and it's sort of an outgrowth of podcasting, right? That it's sort of casual and, hey, Ian, how are you? And what's going on? What'd you have for lunch? Right. And it's like, you know what? Get to the point. Don't waste my time. Tell me what you're going to be teaching me or showing me, and let's get right onto it and go. Yeah.
It's great. Jacobs Media, what does Jacobs Media do? Is there a purpose for people that are watching to reach out to you or Jacobs Media for some sort of product or service that you provide? Why don't you go ahead and tell folks about yourself?
So we do a lot of different things. We started out as radio programming consultants for rock and roll radio, and we have expanded from there. We have a mobile apps company called Jake Apps, which actually opened about 100 days after Apple opened up the App Store about 11 years ago. And so we've done thousands of apps at this point. So that's been a really good side business. But really what we do is we help organizations, we help companies in a lot of different spaces make the adjustment into the digital world, how to rethink their content and rethink distribution so that they can take advantage and not, frankly, be sucked up by all the technology that's out there. So a lot of hand-holding going on, a lot of transitioning, that kind of thing. But it's a great challenge, and it's a lot of fun. That's what we're doing a lot of these days.
That's great. Yeah. And for people that want to get in touch with you or Jacobs Media, how might they do that?
Email's easiest. The website is jacobsmedia.com. I'm Fred at jacobsmedia.com. We have a daily blog that fresh content every day, jacobsmedia.com/blog, that really talks about a lot of these kinds of things, Ian. It's a real deep dive into what is going on with media, technology, content, and distribution. So I would invite people to stop by and check that out.
That's awesome. Thank you for joining me, Fred.
My pleasure.
Really appreciate it. And thank you for your attention. We're going to roll to a video. I'll be back with another interview. Here comes the Google Pocket Disc.